Hello, good morning, bom dia, buenos dias. Welcome everyone for one more webinar. This time talking about new destinations in Turkey. Some of the destinations, some of the cities we're going to talk about today, I can't even pronounce, but they are fabulous. I can say we have a fantastic presentation ahead today, done by the Tekser team directly from Istanbul. I would like to introduce you first, for those of you who don't know her, Feyhan Caprali. Feyhan, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Actually, it's good afternoon from us, from Istanbul.
Correct. Thanks for correcting me. Good afternoon for you and for all your team. Thanks again, for bringing to us a fantastic show. I know you have put a lot of efforts to make it happen. We're going to have several people presenting today these destinations. And yeah, what can you tell us to start about these new destinations in Turkey?
Well, thank you. It's a great pleasure for us to be here with you, with our friends and colleagues in Latin America. We really have missed you. What we have done during the pandemic, which is like 12 or 14 months, we have looked into different regions in Turkey. I know that most of you are familiar with Istanbul, Cappadocia, Izmir, Ephesus, and Bodrum. But we're so fortunate in Turkey, we have so many other regions that needs to be discovered. We also thought about the new trends like, the environment, care for the environment, putting the culture together, the local interactions, local attractiveness, and also food, which is a major part in Turkey in our history. So we have tried to combine all these aspects into these new programs. Today, we have only 4 of them to present to you. We have plenty of more regions in Turkey, which we're going to work on. But today we will start with these 4 regions, and maybe if I can have the map on the screen, I will show you where we're headed into. Okay. Number 1 is, of course, is Istanbul. All these programs are combinable with Istanbul. They are either 1 hour or 1.5 hours flights away. One of them is, the number 2 is Urfa. It's a place where history started. Number 3 is Antioch, a very well-known place for its gastronomy. And number 4 is Mardin. It's a city of tolerance. Number 1 is next to Istanbul is Thrace. That's actually is a driving distance from Istanbul. The maximum driving time to a forest is 2.5 hours. And then we have combined a small program where you can drive, spend some time in the environment, in vineyards, and then come back to Istanbul. So I think we can start with Thrace at the moment, if we may.
Fantastic,
and then we'll continue with the other ones.
Well, as you know, I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to be watching the presentation. I wish you a fantastic presentation. For everyone who's watching, please do comments, ask questions on the YouTube chat. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on our social medias. And yeah, I see you at the end of the presentation. Good show, Feyhan. See you.
Thank you. And our team is ready on the spot, and they will answer all the questions that will be coming from YouTube. Okay, then let's start with Thrace.
Hello, my name is Afshin. I've been working at Tekser over the last 3 years as a destination manager. Today, I will be presenting the Thracian part of Turkey. It is located on the northwestern part of the country. It is the only region that is located in the Europe side. It is only 2.5 hours drive from Istanbul which makes it a perfect extension program for our clients. Here you will see many sunflower fields and west vineyards. This is the 3-day sample itinerary that we have created. Let's go through the details and explore the region together. A short video of the landscape surrounding Inada, where we can get an idea of the nature and wildlife of the area. Here is the blue waters of the Black Sea. This is the dense, amazing floodplain forests. It's a valuable wetland that is home to a rich flora and fauna. Well, depending on the weather conditions, you can choose to swim on the shores of the Black Sea, or you can choose to visit Dupnisa Cave. On day 1, Dupnisa Cave visit is offered as an optional tour. It is located on the Strange Mountains, where you can see every shade of green. It is actually 2 floors and 3 caves connected to each other. Dupnisa Cave is home to a bat population, which is under protection inside the caves. Well, we spent our first night of tour at the Longosphere glamping area, where we will enjoy our drinks right next to a campfire under a blanket of stars. Moving on to the second day's highlights. House of Atatürk would be the first one. Atatürk is the founder of Turkey, and he was also a Thracian from the Thessaloniki, which was at the time a Turkish city. Kırklareli City Council decided to build a replica of our beloved leader's house for us to get a chance to see it within the borders of Turkey. And Kadı Ali Fountain will give you a glimpse of the Ottoman urban architecture in the region. Our tour of downtown Kırklareli. This will show you the typical urban structure in Thrace and the Balkans, both old and new. You will see some amazing historical sites and current social life with a taste of delicious local cuisine. You get to visit local shops in the 600-year-old covered bazaar. You will also get a chance to try some of the fine local delicacies. We will end our day at our peaceful hotel in a relaxing atmosphere, sipping on exquisite wines of the region against a magnificent view of the landscape. The next day, we will start with a visit to the beautiful Arcadia vineyards and the winery of our hotel. Our second stop of the last day would be Hagia Nicola Monastery on the way to Istanbul. This almost 15 years old monastery is one of the finest examples of rock monasteries. The site will give you an idea on the way how the earlier Christians lived and practiced their religion. Here we have some pictures of the Longosphere glamping, where we get to stay on our first day of the tour. The natural characteristics of the region are suitable for alternative accommodation, such as glamping, which is a rising global trend. This is a short video about Bakucha Hotel and its vineyards. Well, now we will pass the word to Feyhan and our guest Zeynep, who will give us more information about the hotel.
She is. I actually had the pleasure of staying in the hotel a couple of years ago. It's such a beautiful feeling to wake up in the middle of the vineyards. It's so peaceful. So thank you for Zeynep for joining us. Can you please tell us a little bit about the project, how this vineyard came about, the hotel and everything? And I also remember that you have once won the award of being the Woman Entrepreneur of the Year. So please
Yes,
let us hear from you.
yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Feyhan. I'm so happy to be a part of this. So Arcadia is, as you know, it's a family estate and a renowned producer of high-end terroir wines. But it's actually much more than that. Because following years of experience in housing and hotel development, we transformed our focus onto more niche investments in accordance with the changing demands of the refined consumer tastes, and creating value through creative and holistic approach to sustainable tourism and lifestyle alternatives. And when we incorporated all of this with our love of high-end wines and great food, we created Arcadia. So we are located in the countryside of Kırklareli, in the valley extending below the Istranca Mountains, just the previous beautiful pictures you've seen. That was the Istranca Mountains. And we are an enclosed estate of 200 hectares. We are an example of agricultural protection with sustainably cultivated vineyards, chateau-type winery producing high-end wines, but also orchards, vegetable gardens providing for the hotel, and fully grown oak groves of 50-plus-year-old trees. So you can, have your promenade and long walks around. And the estate is designed as a gastronomical oasis in nature for those who are seeking a peaceful alternative offering refined tastes. Like we actually redefined luxury with space, fresh air, real food, and waking up to the birds singing. And I think this new era we're experiencing since 1.5 years is proving that this was the right way to go, in a way. So as devoted believers in biodiversity, other agricultural products are encouraged and grown within the vineyards, especially lavender, fruit orchards, and honeybees. This biodiversity in the estate is set up, of course, to help the quality of the wines, but also for the pleasure of the visitors. Like this, they can find a beautiful natural experience at all seasons throughout the year. So Bakucha is a 26-room boutique hotel located in the estate, hosting nature and gastronomy lovers, but we also offer corporate meeting and retreat facilities. We're not only well known for our wines, but also for our food. In our chef's table restaurant, everything including sourdough bread, sauces, vinegar, etc., and you see the pictures of some of them passing behind. They're all homemade from scratch, or we use the products of local artisan and producers. We create new tastes using rich and diverse seasonal ingredients from the region, such as the porcine mushrooms, truffle mushrooms, and the famous pasture-raised beef and sheep. So very good dairy and meat products as well. The project values sustainability at all steps. In addition to sustainable agricultural practices, we have also a solar energy field in Arcadia, providing more energy than needed for the entire operation, including the hotel and the production. So everything is solar powered, right? So the project is like that, and we're over 200 hectares of agricultural land. We're extending in an area that big. Arcadia is a project pioneered in reviving this 1,000-year-old wine terroir. We are the first producers in Turkish Republic in this very old terroir of wine, as well as we are the pioneers in upscale enoturism facilities in Thrace region, leading the example for agricultural and gastronomical tourism. I'm humbled to share with you that in 2016, as Feyhan kindly said, I was granted the Woman Entrepreneur Who Makes the Difference in Her Region award with this project. So we are looking forward to hosting you and sharing the great experiences this emerging nature and gastronomy destination has to offer just at the back garden of Istanbul, actually.
Exactly, it's only like an hour away from Istanbul. When is the harvest time, Zeynep? It's a beautiful time, I know, and maybe if they can come and they can pick up the grapes as well. If you can just mention that a little bit.
Of course, our grape harvest starts at the end of August or beginning of September, and it extends until mid-October till end October. It depends the season a little bit, plus minus 1-2 weeks. But it's a great time. It's a very exciting time, and we encourage our guests to come and pick the grapes with us. We experience the excitement of harvest.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an experience. Thank you very much. The Arcadia wines are actually served in many places in Istanbul or in our events as well. It's a very good collection of wines. So even maybe if you have been to Istanbul, you have tasted the wines because we use them a lot. As also as a company, and I think as the new travel makers, we try to protect and we try to support sustainability more than ever. We have lived through that during the pandemic, and we learned our lessons in a way. So, thank you for joining us, and we hope our guests will see your hotel and yourself in the near future. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Now we should move to our next destination, which is Urfa and Göbekli Tepe. That's where the history began, as far as we're concerned. Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. This is Alida. I will present you Göbekli Tepe and Urfa. Göbekli Tepe, the zero point of history, religion, and architecture. It is the oldest archaeological site in the world. To give you an idea, I will tell you the ages of some very well-known places. Stonehenge is 5,000 years old. The pyramids in Egypt are 4,000 years old, while Göbekli Tepe is 12,000 years old. Imagine that it was a time humans were believed to be hunter-gatherers. There was no settlement, no farming, and they managed to build 20 temples, out of which only 6 have been excavated. It is a mystery how they do it and how they built them. Göbekli Tepe is located in Urfa. It is only 1 hour and a half minutes flight from Istanbul. Urfa has a very long history and great importance for 3 religions: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Urfa, during the World War independence, Urfa was renamed as Şanlıurfa, glorious Urfa. Şanlı means glorious. Urfa has believed to be the place where Adam and Eve lived after their fall. Also, Prophet Abraham is considered to be the father of Islam and Judaism. Urfa is the place where Christianity was first accepted as a state religion, and it's very important. We will now see the 3-day tour outline. This program will give you the glimpse of a great history and of a magnificent city. On day 1, we arrive Urfa and visit Göbekli Tepe, Urfa Archaeology and Mosaic Museum. On the highlights of the day, actually, I would like to tell you how Göbekli Tepe was discovered. It was a bean field, and the owner discovered it. And the German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt realized its importance. He dedicated his life for the excavation of this magical site. Today, you can visit this amazing place and witness history. Today, we will also visit Şanlıurfa Archaeology and Mosaic Museum. The museum houses 74,000 artifacts, mostly found from Göbekli Tepe. And it's Turkey's 5th biggest museum. The most famous item is the 180 centimeter long human-sized sculpture with obsidian eyes. It is very must-see thing in this museum. Also, next to the archaeology museum, there is Halepli Bahçe Mosaic Museum. There is also very rare mosaics depicting Amazons. It is very must-see mosaics and very nice. We will see 3 major sites on day 2. And we, as a special, we will have a cooking workshop and sıra gecesi. First of all, we will visit Solmatar, ancient city. This city is 1.5 hours away from Urfa. It was a cult city, cult center of god Sin, and this was a god of moon and planets. It was believed to be also the burial site of people who lived in ancient Somatar city. We will next see Harran city, ancient city Harran. Harran means crossroads in Sumerian language. Today, the place is very famous for their beehive houses. The specialty is that the houses keep you calm, cool in summer and warm in winter. And Harran housed the oldest universities in the world. Many scientific advances were made here. It also has a religious importance that Prophet Abraham was set from here to promised land by the word of God. We will then come to a little bit city center, and we will see Abraham's cave and mosque. Here, Prophet Abraham was believed to be born in this cave. He was Babylonian king was going to kill him, and his mother take refuge in this cave, gave birth to him, and it was believed that he lived there until he was 7 years old. Close to the cave, there is Balıklı Göl. This is also a very place important. Prophet Abraham, he was believed to be thrown to fire here, but the fire returned to water, and the woods, which was going to burn him, turned into fishes. It is very sacred here, and it's forbidden even to touch the fishes today. Again, it's closer to the Balıklı Göl and cave. We have Bazar and Gümrükhan Caravanserai. In this bazaar, we have sections for spices, carpets, and in the Gümrükhan Caravanserai, you will see in the courtyard, you can have a chance to have a tea or coffee with locals. It is a very nice experience. Urfa is very well known with its cuisine. You will see this is a çiğ köfte. It's very special, and this is actually çiğ köfte means raw meatball. It's made of cracked meat and minced meat. It is not so that the raw meat and minced meat cooked with salt and spices together, and we will see some very nice foods from Urfa, kebabs actually, and where we will have the cooking class, Harran Gastronomy Center. The place aims to preserve the cultural and historic heritage. They have a movement called City Slow movement, and their purpose is to improve the quality of life by slowing the pace. It is very important, and Halfeti in Urfa is a city slow city. Now we are seeing some very nice foods from Urfa. Katmer, kebab, çiğ köfte. It's being made right now, and this is how it's eaten. It's very nice. Another very local entertainment tonight, we will see the last highlight is Turkish Night Show. It's a Sıra Gecesi. It's a local entertainment, and you will experience it only in Urfa. People sit next to each other and sing in turns, means in sıra. This experience makes it very special, food, music, and sharing. And we will just see a glimpse of it right now. On the third day, we have a flight out to Istanbul. Urfa is a very worth-see place in Turkey with its people, food, and great history. Hope to see you in Urfa one day, and thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you, Adida.
Thank you.
Now we will move to Antakya, Antioch. Okay, Begim is going to talk about Antakya.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our stream today. So, Antioch is a prosperous and modern city at the south of Turkey, located in 1 hour 15 minutes flight distance to Istanbul. The city of harmony, the hidden treasure of Turkey, where different faiths meet and live in peace. And thanks to its diversity, Antioch is gifted with a very rich cuisine, which is chosen as Creative City of Gastronomy by UNESCO. It is full of history and natural beauties. Here we have our tour outline, which we are suggesting 3 full days in the region to discover better. First day, we will concentrate on the city center. Second day, on the mountain area, Samandağ. And the third day, on the surroundings of the city. We are starting our day with St. Peter's Church. This is one of the earliest churches, but the first cave one. And this is also where the community of the believers of Jesus is named Christian for the first time. It is accepted by Vatican as one of the places of pilgrimage. And our next stop would be Hatay Archaeology Museum. It is one of the, it has one largest mosaic museums of Turkey, which is very recently renovated. And the last added piece to its display is the statue of Shupuliliuma. It's difficult to tell. He is the last king of Hittites. Who was the last king? Around 12th century BC. And he was very successful king, created trade route between Egypt and Hattushash, his hometown, through Antioch. And he came there to have a very big war. And look at his eyes. Can you see the fear? It is because of the attacks he has been receiving in Antioch. Hittites will no longer be on the stage of the history after this war. So we can see his fear from the statue. And we will continue today with Habibi Nejjar Mosque. The Habibi Nejjar Mosque is the first mosque in Asia Minor. Habibi Nejjar is the first person in Antioch who believed the apostles of Jesus. So it's a very interesting fact that the mosque is named after a Christian, and he was murdered while protecting the apostles. Antioch houses shape typical narrow streets and give life to these streets with high stone walls, usually single or double-story structures with rooms around the courtyard, where we have usually wells or fountains inside. Presently, most of them are converted to nice restaurants and boutique hotels. On the way to Long Bazaar, which is the main market of the city with fresh products, you can come across to a church, to a mosque, and a synagogue within 200 meters, which symbolizes the harmony of the city. In Long Bazaar, we will have a little nice courtyard at the heart of it, where we will taste the famous künefe dessert. It is a hot served dessert with unsalted cheese. So please enjoy this small short video. As long as we continue walking within the narrow streets of Antioch, we will visit a glass blowing atelier. Antioch is also known as the earliest glass production regions in Asia Minor. And a professional dentist, this gentleman, Shadi Asfuroğlu, started glass blowing as a hobby. And then he converted one of these Antioch houses to an atelier. Besides being an active dentist, he's also producing antique glasswares such as tear bottles, and guests will have opportunity to have them as souvenirs. So we will have opportunity to see this beautiful handcraft. The second day will start with Tree of Moses. It is a peaceful, natural area where there is a tree called Tree of Moses. As legend says, Moses was there, and when he put his staff on the ground, the water comes out and the staff becomes a tree, which is believed to be this beautiful tree. Right after that, we have a Vakıflı village. They are very close by, and Vakıflı village is the one and only Armenian village in Turkey, still keeping its community, surrounded by beautiful orange trees, and you may smell orange blossoms nearly all year long. It's beautiful. Again, on Samandağ, the mountain area of the region, we have a very impressive monastery, St. Simon Monastery, located on the Mount of Miracles. St. Simon, when he was a child, he had a very profound religious training, and his ability to treat diseases made him known and visited. And after that, the monastery is built on the spot where he is believed to live 40 years on one single column. You will also admire breathtaking view of windmills from the monastery. So the day will continue with Beşikli Cave, which is located at the entrance of Titus Tunnel, being a very large tomb complex and carved into rocks. Right after that, we reach Titus Tunnel. It is a tunnel carved in a bedrock in order to avoid flood coming from the mountains to the harbor. The father of the king, Titus, ordered its construction, but it is completed during the reign of his son. So it's nearly 1.5 kilometers long and completed in 15 years at the 1st century AC. So can be considered to be a man-made wonder. Our day 3 will start a beautiful story. The story of Apollon and Daphne. Harbiye Waterfalls. It is very close by the city center. In the middle of the city, you will be surprised to see waterfalls coming from everywhere in Harbiye. According to the mythology, Harbiye is the place where scented hair beautiful Daphne became a tree. So the myth says that Daphne, the daughter of the river god, prayed to be saved from Apollo, who has been chasing her. And when she prayed that please save me from Apollon, her feet goes into the soil and her lovely hair became this scented leaves of Daphne tree. And it is believed that the waterfalls of Harbiye are the tears of the Daphne. And from this beautiful soap, this beautiful tree, the locals produce a natural soaps. It is a Daphne soap, and we will have opportunity to visit one of the natural soap ateliers. It is all produced with traditional system. And it's very good for hair. Now, another local experience in the, here now we will have a beautiful video. The video will tell more than words about the cuisine of Antioch, and you will understand now better why it is chosen as a creative city of gastronomy by UNESCO. So I hope you enjoyed those beautiful foods. And silk is one of the most important products of Antioch. Some of you may already know how silk is produced. So during the process, silkworms are harmed, unfortunately, in hot water. But a new guilt-free technique is started to be used in Antioch as well. So the silk is produced after the butterfly is out of its cocoon. We will have opportunity to visit one of these guilt-free silk ateliers on day 3 as well. So the next day we will be leaving Antioch. And as per the accommodation in Antioch, there are many hotels, and some of them are boutique ones, which are, as I mentioned, originally the old Antioch houses. But there is a very special one that we want to introduce you, the Museum Hotel Antioch. Now, I would like to pass the word to Mr. Erden, the marketing and sales manager of the hotel. I believe he is here.
Hello?
Mr. Erden?
Hello all. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I
Yes.
pass the word
For-
to you. Please
Yeah,
introduce
thank you
your
so much.
beautiful property to us.
Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Thanks for inviting us for this amazing show. And actually, I would like to inform you that unfortunately there is some technical problem about my cam, so that's why I couldn't open. Sorry for the inconvenience, actually, and that's why I just directly, thanks God, having my voice, and I'm trying to, give you some impression about the hotel with my voice.
Yes. Ms. Feyhan?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
if it is fine,
I could.
if it is fine, I'm going to continue.
please do.
Okay then. So the Museum Hotel Antakya is the world's first modern revival of an ancient heritage site. Actually, an extraordinary intersection of experiences where visitors wake to 23 centuries of history. Our hotel is home to the world's largest single-floor mosaic dating back to the 4th century. Our hotel is both a luxury 5-star hotel and a museum, actually, set on the foundations of ancient Antioch in the heart of modern Antakya. It enjoys vistas onto the nearby St. Pierre, the world's first cave church, which Begum already informed. Located just 2 kilometers from central Antakya Hotel, and guests can enjoy revel in the city's rich cultural, historic, and culinary delights, as it has been recognized by UNESCO as a world city of gastronomy. The Museum Hotel Antakya welcomes you with an outstanding hospitality concept, with the 5 world-class restaurant dining venues, the city's largest spa, well-being and fitness hub, which is 3,300 almost square meter all the areas inside and outside. Our hotel spanned hotel rooms, suites, and 7 event venues, including major ballroom and terrace. With its panoramic views, unique setting, and perfect marriage of style, luxury, and history, the Museum Hotel Antakya is perfect for events and functions of all sizes and styles, from elegant engagement ceremonies and wondrous weddings to corporate events and conferences. Our hotel is the report of an archaeological marvel, actually, rich in history and heritage, creativity, and community. It is a place to wine and dine, bath and bond, honor the past and celebrate the future. The Museum Hotel Antakya is welcoming you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ergin. But I have seen the hotel. It actually is beautiful. It is what we call the combination of new and old. But there is a story behind the construction which really impressed me. Can you talk a little bit about it? Because the owner of the hotels started the construction, as far as I know. And
Yes.
then what happened?
Actually, they when they started digging the inland, they just found some mosaics and realized that this is some historical mosaics. And then they just get in touch with the government side, the cultural departments of the government, and they opened different holes in the land. And they discovered that this is the historical area. And that's why our boss convert the hotel to museum first, and then decide he wouldn't like to to leave like just a museum, and he needs to put his acknowledge and his name to the actual hotel, this project, and then he decided to make it hotel and a museum together. But it is not easy actually those days, and then he met with our genius architect, and as you know, Emre Arolat, and they create this hotel. Actually, the hotel is covered with the museum. On top of it, there is a hotel with the 200 rooms. It is the unique actually, because the main idea is just to save the history, just to save the history. And after that, before they decide to make it 400 rooms as a city hotel, and now it turns to 200 rooms with luxury hotel and a museum, and amazing.
Yes, it's really is amazing actually. You walk in the lobby, you go to the restaurant, and you're in a museum. It is built in such a way that the whole mosaics were preserved. So it really is a unique place that that we want our guests to come and experience themselves. Thank you very much for joining to our event, and we hope to see you in Antakya in one day. Thank you. And I
You're
think
welcome. You are so welcome. We are welcoming your guests and you as well.
thanks. And I think we should now move to our last stop, which is Mardin, another unique destination. And Shen is going to present us this final destination that we have prepared for today.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to present you Mardin, which is one of my favorite cities in Turkey. So let's start discovering it all together. So Mardin is the oldest settlement in Upper Mesopotamia, and many different cultures meet in the city. Assyrians, Arabs, Turks, Kurds, and Yazidis live side by side. And as you can hear, as many mosques, churches, and synagogues are located in a very small neighborhood. And Mardin is considered as the Jerusalem of Turkey. Let's have a little bit of idea what it is like to live side by side.
Mardinliler yemeden yedirir, giymeden giydirir, susuzsa su verir. Böyle bir insanlık kültürü var. Irkçılık. Irkçılık nedir? Bana izah eder misin? Mardin'de böyle bir şey yok.
So, we prepared you an itinerary which includes the highlights of the area, but even if you stay like 1 week, it wouldn't be enough to discover it all. But let's see what we can offer to you. So we start with we fly to Mardin. It's about 1.5 hours flight from Istanbul. There are very frequent flights all days of the week, sorry. And let's discover the highlights. So for Kasımya Madrasa, this was considered to be one of the select education centers. It's equivalent to today's university education. So the pool that you see here was used to study astronomy. They started astronomy looking at the reflections of the stars. It also symbolizes the life cycle of a human being. The place where the water flowed through the wall symbolizes the birth of a human being, whereas the pool symbolizes the death of the human being. And the water in the pool is then transferred to the soil, which again symbolizes reincarnation. And then we move on to Kırklar Church. Its actual name is Morbenham, but everybody calls it the Church of Forties because 40 saints were buried in the grounds of this church. And then comes Ulu Cami, which means the Grand Mosque. It has a very unique minaret. You cannot see such a minaret in anywhere else in Turkey. And it has very nice reliefs depicting certain symbols. You will enjoy this visit. Then we move on to the countryside and we have a nice and relaxing day. It has become very trendy between the locals to go to Beyaz Su and swim or have some fun, eat something, have a picnic. So we will experience it as like a local. Okay, before we move on to day 2, I would like to talk you a little bit about this donkey. Why do we have a picture of a donkey here? Why is it so special about Mardin? Well, because Mardin is the only city in Turkey and maybe on earth that donkeys are officially employed by the municipality. But why do they employ donkeys as workers in municipality? Because the streets of Mardin are very narrow and it's not possible to go there by car. Therefore, the municipality employs the donkeys. So they collect the trash in between those old streets and carry it with those donkeys. So these donkeys get retired and even get a pension fee. Well, I think they are the most comfortable animals on earth. What do you think? So on day 2, we visit Dara Ancient City. Dara Ancient City is considered to be the Ephesus of Mesopotamia. When I went there, I also felt it the same way because the way how they did the excavations were very impressive and how they displayed. But also it sort of resembles Cappadocia as there are many rock-carved places there. But the most stunning area was the cistern. Let's see why. Well, because when you enter this cistern, it's quite surprising because there's a very modest country house on top of it. They didn't even know that there was a cistern underneath. So when they excavated, they just hit into this beautiful and stunning cistern, and which is about 25 meters tall. And in general, it is 6 meters higher than most of the basilica cisterns on earth. It's really worth visiting there, and you can enjoy a cup of tea at the grounds of the cistern with the hosts of the house. Then what we can do is we can visit Darülzafara Monastery. Why is it so special? You can just think it's just one of those monasteries. Well, what makes it special is the Sun Temple. So before people accepted Christianity, they worshipped sun. So they built a temple for sun. And after they accepted Christianity, they built the monastery on top of this sun temple. So even today, when you visit the monastery, you can still go and visit the sun temple underneath it. And the saffron tea that they serve at the grounds of the monastery is just delicious. Okay, when it comes to the ateliers of Mardin, if you want to have a really local touch, some local atmosphere. I will not talk too much, just see the rest of the video and just pick one of the hoteliers of your taste. So on day 3, we move on to another city called Midyat, which is a town of Mardin, actually. And we will start the day with Mor Gabriel Monastery. What's so special about this monastery is because it's the biggest monastery of the Assyrians. Therefore, it's worth visiting it. Then, of course, what makes the day so special is the wine tasting. Syriac wine is quite famous in the wine world, and it's worth visiting the area and tasting different types of Syriac wines. And we can finish the day with a nice tea break at a local household. I was lucky enough to visit one of those houses and I was treated like a queen. It's really nice to visit one of those houses. They are very big. They have around 40 different rooms connected to each other because people used to live as big families in the old times. What other type of local experiences can we see? Well, Mardin has lots of surprises to offer to you. You can see a local musician making music, or you can see very important breed horses riding out in the nature. You can experience a local barber store. Okay, let's have an idea about what's available. And of course, the cuisine. I think, as you saw, including this region, Urfa, Antakya, Mardin is also one of these cities where you will have a festive table for dinner. As for the accommodation, the hotel options are quite similar like the ones in Cappadocia. Because they mostly consist of stone houses. They are carved out into the stones, and luxury style accommodation is available. And it would be nice to stay in the old town or the area so that your guests can enjoy the city and explore it by their own and by walking. Okay. And then, there is a social responsibility project, which I value very much in the region. There is this guy called Zahid Mungan, who started a social responsibility project for the families of socially disadvantaged groups. He works with the children and they make creative workshops and try to change the perspective of the kids so that they can have a different future. Let's discover it a little bit. They make kites, and they even started an international kite festival in the area. And the project is called 13 square meters because the atelier that they work with the kids is just 13 square meters. Okay, enjoy.
Özgürlük. Tutku.
Of course, every nice thing has an end, and this is all from me, and I'm passing the word to Feyhan to say goodbye to you. Thanks for listening and being with us.
Well, thank you very much for joining and listening to us. I hope you have enjoyed these new regions. We really put a lot of thinking into it, and we know these areas, and they're all very operatable. And I think if you have the right guests, I think they will enjoy it as much as we do as Turkish citizens visiting or creating programs.
Definitely. Well, Feyhan, first of all, I must say congratulations to you and your team for bringing this presentation. I think the format you made it really makes it even more interesting watching. So congrats all the team involved. And I'm amazed, and I'm sure our audience is amazed. I've gone through some of the comments on the chat, and everyone is really thoughtful about, wow, it's a different Turkey. It's a new destination. And we can say that Turkey is a well-known destination in Latin America. As you know, Turkish Airlines flies to Mexico City, they fly to Colombia, they fly to Brazil, and it became a really popular destination recently, in the last couple of years. But as I said in the chat, I think everyone who has been to Turkey is now thinking, I have to go back. I need to see these new destinations. I hope everyone is feeling like I am feeling right now. And as you said, it's really easy actually to combine those destinations with Turkey. And since we take advantage of Turkish Airlines flights to go to Asia, for example, we could stop in Istanbul, see a new destination, and then continue our journey.
Exactly.
And beautiful hotels as well. I think, when it comes to new destinations, we always think, how is the structure? How are the airports? How are the roads? Can we really travel there? And by what I've seen, I think it's really doable. And we have fantastic properties to stay.
Very much so, Jefferson, and that was our starting point actually, because the hotels, we know the area, by the way. It's not like we haven't been to these areas at all. We have operated groups there as well. So we know what we're talking about. But what we tried to do is, when we were introducing it to Latin America, is to pick the unique properties, the unique ideas that we wanted to put into our programs. It's a fact that in the near future, Turkey has open borders, and we really do enjoy receiving guests from Latin America. So you can come to Turkey and spend maybe 15 days, 20 days, a month, or whatever. But still, we're hoping to expect more and more Latin American guests into Turkey.
Definitely. I think, some of the questions that we had were answered in the chat, but anyone who's watching who would like to have further information about these destinations, maybe pricing, maybe ideas of itineraries besides the ones that I have shared, please contact our team or Tekser team. So, Ofelia in Mexico, Isabel in Colombia, Rosina in Argentina, myself, Sydney in Brazil. We are here, we are available, and obviously, all the team in Turkey is available as well. We are looking forward to, answering your questions, talking to you. We are here. We are available. I just would like to remind everyone as well that we have more destination trainings coming in the next weeks. So every week until the end of June, we have one. Soon we will announce our next destination dives as well. So stay tuned on our social media. Stay tuned with us. I thank you everyone again for your presence here. And Feihan, I'll leave you now with your final words. A big hug. We miss you. We miss all your team. We miss your beautiful destination. Hope to be back soon.
Well, just thank you. And we miss you all. And we hope to have you back in Istanbul and Turkey soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.